model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul. In this week's build here, I'm featuring, this is a 1963 Ford Thunderbird. And as you know, I'm a big fan of Thunderbirds and I really like all of these cars. And some of them are pretty hard to find in kit form. But I mean, even the real car. Now for 63, it's the final year of the Bullet body style, which came out in 61. These are nicknamed the Bullet Birds. Which is how I've referred to over the years. I think they're really cool. They really set off the jet age and everything about them I just really like. They got a little bit bigger, they got a little bit heavier, and by 63, they were doing pretty well. They were still selling pretty well. Matter of fact, it's kind of funny because 63, they sold a little over 63,000 Thunderbirds. They were getting a little pricey, but they were a personal luxury car. They were never really marketed as a performance car, but this one kind of was. They kind of went for that look and everything. And this is the rarest of those versions. This is the Sports Roadster. And when it comes to the Thunderbirds, with 63,000 cars produced, only about 5,500 of them were convertibles. But the Sports Roadster option, which this is its second year, there was only 455 made. 62 was the first year of the Sports Roadster, which gives you this tonneau cover here that covers the back seat to give you a two-seat look, and also included these wire wheels and no fender skirts. And that was basically it for the Sports Roadster as an appearance package. It did give you an emblem up on the fender right there, which no other had. Even the convertible didn't have that emblem. But as far as the powertrain goes, the 390 engine, which was the only displacement engine you can get in the Thunderbird for 63, it had a standard version of 275 horsepower. It had a high performance version of 300 horsepower and 427 foot-pounds of torque. So it was a torque monster. It wasn't really a full-on race car. And then there was the rare M code, which that gave you the 3.2 barrels, which is on this kit. And that was a 340 horsepower monster. Now, there was no transmission options for this. You got the Cruise-O-Matic, 3-speed automatic. And the factory gearing was either 310 or 3.0 as far as the years. So these were highway cruisers, just a high horsepower cruiser, which is all the Thunderbird really turned into. Even in 55 through 57, they were marketed as not a performance car, but a personal tour or something like that. And then they got more luxurious in 58 when they went with the back seat, and the sales really took off from there. But they were getting a little bit of feedback, and people had loved the first T-Bird, so they decided Ford was going to produce the Sports Roadster and go back to that look. Now, so they included the tonneau cover and they included the wire wheels, and no skirts on the Sports Roadster or any of the T-Birds that had the optional wire wheels. Now, the Sports Roadster package was pretty expensive. Those cars regularly broke $5,000. But the Sports Roadster package was another $600 something on top of the standard Thunderbird convertible, and that didn't include the M motor. That was just the mid-horse 390, the wire wheels, and the tonneau cover. And the colors were limited a little bit. The full range of Thunderbird colors was not available, but roughly half of them. And in 62, there was like 1,400 of them produced. They were expecting to make more, but they did say it was going to be a limited production car. But they didn't build as many as they wanted. And then the wire wheels showed their faults. Now, the wire wheels, there was two things with them. With the cap on there and everything, there wasn't enough clearance for the fender skirts. So with the axle moving around in normal suspension travel and side-to-side travel, they could hit the fender skirts. And I'm not sure the fender skirts could be bolted on some cars with the wire wheels. I know some of the earlier ones, the 58 through 60, which didn't get the wire wheels from the factory, but if you bolted them on, they hit the fender skirts. But Ford, if you ordered the wire wheels, which by itself was a $300 and something option, which was more than half the cost of the Roadster package, That was the major price factor there. And then there was another problem. This car, the convertible form and everything, was 4,400 pounds. Wire wheels were not notorious for handling weight and torque and everything. So this became a car that became the poster child for that. And there's a famous story. Elvis Presley actually bought one of the first 62 sports roadsters. And apparently the story is that he was traveling at a fairly high rate of speed. It really doesn't say. But he was making a turn and one of the wheels actually collapsed. And Ford had recalled the wire wheels, the Casey Hayes wire wheels, increased the spoke diameter and to make them stronger. And they came back out with them. So that may have limited the sales and the bad press on it. And they put regular steel wheels on them in the meantime until the new wheels became available. So there was that, the wire wheels couldn't handle. And then the other side of it was they didn't hold air. They hadn't found a way to seal the rims. So the original Casey Hayes wheels, they leaked air, so they had to use inner tubes. And even though tubeless tires had been around for a while, they had to put inner tubes on the wire wheel cars. So there is that. Now, of course, the reproductions are made better and have a resin on the inside to seal the spokes. And so those issues are gone now, and the spokes are much stronger and bigger. And, people that have these cars, they drive them restored. They don't, they're not flying down the freeway and hitting corners like that anymore, because these are just high-powered cruisers is really all they are. Not really a high-performance car, but just more of an image statement. But even with that 390 with the 3 barrels, which really, really cool. So it's one of those, I often wonder, what was Ford actually thinking when they produced this car and then the sales were so far down? Now, interestingly, I don't remember if I covered it in the 64 video I did, but officially a sports roadster was not available in 64. But the tonneau cover was available separate and the wire wheels were available separate. So you can build a sports roadster, but it wasn't called a sports roadster and it didn't have this emblem on the fender for 64. So officially no sports roadsters, but you could order the tonneau cover and the wire wheels on a 64, but officially no. So it's pretty cool, and I kind of like it. But looking at the size of this thing, where when you put that cover on, half the car is trying to make it look like a two-door, but you could remove this to get access to the full back seat. So yeah, pretty cool. And one thing, they also had the tilt-away steering column, which AMT provided in this kit. So check this out. This one, I restored it, and I've got a couple of them that actually were not glued in place. You could tilt it away. That was a tilt-away steering column to help you get in and out of the car. The AMT actually incorporated that in the kit, and it's in there. So those of you guys who didn't know or has seen, why it's built that way, that's the way it's meant to be, is it will tilt away. And so being what it is, this is, of course, an annual kit that I purchased and restored, and, really enjoyed it. But I went so far as I put the chrome package on the 390, so I put chrome on the valve covers, chrome air cleaner, did it as the very rare M-Code 390 with the 3 barrels, which I believe was only available for a few years, and but wasn't exclusive to the sports roadster. You can get it in any of the Thunderbirds, but pretty rare engine option. And this, for its time period, was a pretty detailed kit and came with a lot of custom parts in it. I mean, there's the screws, of course, and then the fairly simple chassis, but it's full detail with the engine and everything, and the battery, and some of the details on there. Not the most accurate, but way better than it was just a few years prior, where they were disassembled promos. And a really nice interior, especially like that dash. If you can see it, I put a lot of bare metal foil in there just to get all the chrome to pop, and detail painted that, and it came out really nice, and really happy with the way this came out. And also 63 had unique fenders, this fender bulge right here with this line and these hash marks, which I'm kind of torn style wise on it, because it doesn't seem to fit the body. You've got all these swooping lines, and you got that swoops down with the hash marks. You know, the 58 has hash marks also, and the 60 has them back here. So I kind of like the hash marks, but I've been back and forth on, you know, any one of these that I like. So that's something I thought was just kind of makes it a little bit more bulkier compared to the 61 and the 62s. But, you know, it's still a Thunderbird, and it's still really cool, and just looks really good. Now I've got another one of these because I've gathered up some of these, and I have others to build, and I'll build another one as a regular 63, but I think I only have the wire wheels for it, and I don't believe the kit has the skirts, so I'll build it more as a one with the optional wheels but without the cover on it. Or if I do it as another sports roadster, I'll pick another color, but who knows what I'll do with that 63. Still got to build my 61 and 62s of these, but haven't built those. And my goodness, I really love these round taillights, the jet age that they were going for at that time. It just, you know, it looks like total afterburners, and I just, you know, all the 63 Fords with the round taillights, just think those are neat. But, you know, this is a car that I really like, and there's things I don't like about it and things I do like about it, but, you know, still being a Thunderbird fan, I just love these. Of course, I had to have one of these, and, you know, I've managed to collect them all, but I haven't built them all. So another one of my restoration piles that I've often talked about, but that'll do it on this one. As I rambled on, probably enough on this one, but figured I would share this. I haven't featured any of my Thunderbirds in a while. If you like Thunderbirds, you can check out some of my previous videos for some of the other ones I've done. But thank you for tuning in and subscribing and all your comments. I really appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.